Okay, so we'll get
Yeah.
started.
Mhm.
So, well, everyone I think here pretty much knows me actually. Hi everyone for joining. Um, Sounds obviously working, we've checked that. Thanks for coming to my very, very first ever live webinar. It's awesome to be here and awesome to be here with Eliana. And I've even got my notes here just to make me a little bit more comfortable, even though I'm actually only hosting, I'm not even presenting tonight. I was going to introduce myself a little bit. You all know me already, I think. It's a few new people now popped up. Hello, ladies. Really nice to see you here. For those of you that don't know me, and we are recording this webinar as well, so it's probably a good idea to introduce myself. My name is Fi Mims. I'm a photographer from Melbourne, Australia. Excuse me. I have been a photographer for over 10 years, and I started out as a wedding and portrait photographer, but now I focus, I still do portraits, a lot of portraits, but I have a large focus on branding photography, and mainly for women. I know that when women have great images of themselves, they have a lot more confidence to play a bigger game in their business and go out and kick some butt. And I know as a woman in business myself, it's taken me a long time and I'm still working on it to gain confidence. So I love that I can also help women through my work build their own confidence as well. So that really resonates with me. The lovely Eliana, who I would love to introduce you to now. I met Eliana at a networking event last year, and that's the other reason I love my job, because I get to meet awesome women. And as well as always looking amazingly stylish. She is so warm, and when you meet her, you just love her straight away. And Eliana's mission is very similar to mine, and I'm going to quote from her website here. Where is it? I wrote it down. Eliana's mission to empower women to shine and feel confident, which pretty much could go on my website as well, because I say that I like to make women shine online and give them confidence. So, but obviously Eliana does that through styling rather than images. Now, as I said, I do a lot of branding sessions, and knowing what to wear is something that all of my clients pretty much struggle with. Next to being able to step in front of the camera, that's their next block. What am I going to wear? Am I going to look okay? So it was a bit of a no-brainer to come together with Eliana and start working with her and referring a lot of my clients onto her when they feel like they'd like some extra help in this area. So this webinar was really just a great opportunity to get Eliana to share a lot of her knowledge with you. I myself did a consult with Eliana recently, and I loved it. And what I love about Eliana is that it wasn't just about the clothes that look good on me and fit well, but it was also about what's my brand, who am I trying to attract, and how am I going to reflect that look through my clothes, but feel comfortable and confident at the same time. So it was just great, and I recommend it to everyone who wants to look and reflect the way they want to feel every day, as well as being comfortable. I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to take up too much time, so I think I'll just hand it over to Eliana. I will just mention that we do have a special offer at the end of the webinar that we'll tell you about, so hang in there if you can. So Eliana can tell you about that at the end. Otherwise, I'm going to hand you over and let the lovely Eliana take control. So let me just hit my button here, make host. Yes, I do want to change host. There we go, Eliana. Should be you now.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Faye. What a beautiful introduction. I feel very honored to be part of your first webinar. You know, I love, working with you, and as you say, everything that you do really resonates with my business as well. So very lucky to be working aside from you, with you. So welcome everybody. I obviously some of you already know me, but for those that don't and that might be viewing this webinar later, my name is Eliana. I'm the founder of Style by Eliana. I'm a personal stylist and a self-love and confident advocate. And as obviously Fi already shared, my passion, my absolute passion, and what I love doing is helping real women just like you to look and feel absolutely amazing with very easy and fun styling solutions. Now, I love working with women who obviously have been through a major change in their life, and that's normally what the type of women I work with. And those women normally go from feeling average and bits of conscious to feeling absolutely amazing and more confident by the end of working with me. And some of the women that I work with are moms in business, women who have maybe struggled with a bit of weight gain or even weight loss, and need to kind of get an understanding of what to wear now for the new shape. Women who have been through breakups and maybe want to up their game now and want to put themselves out there. But yeah, so I'd like women obviously in general who have been through some life or career change. And for those of you out there, so you probably are women who have a very established business already, have been obviously in business for a very long time. You may be a startup. You may be also in network marketing, or simply, you obviously work full time. You're maybe trying to find a new job or get a promotion and so forth. So all of you are here for a reason, and obviously is how to build that personal brand, how to lift your game. Obviously, if you've been in business for a while, so what is that all about, and how do you get it right, and obviously get the power of it and make it work for your business in a positive way. So just to put the intention of what I want to make sure that we achieve tonight is obviously for you to get an understanding why first impressions are very important, your image, and why creating the right image can work also very positively towards your business. And if you don't, what is it costing you otherwise? And last but not least, then my tips and steps on how to actually build a personal brand and how to work with my clients doing that. So as we go along, I do have some notes, so I want to make sure that I stay on track and I cover everything that I want to cover with you all. If you have any questions, make sure to put them on the chat screen. We'll make sure to go through Q&A right at the end. Throughout the session, throughout the webinar, I will ask some questions, so we'd love for you to participate. So don't be shy, hopefully. If not, that's okay, and we'll sort it out. But yeah, this is all about you guys, and I really want you all to get the most out of tonight. So, hopefully we'll achieve that by the end. So just to start up with, and just to set the scene, I love starting with the quote. So this is one of my favorite quotes, and it's just because I really think that it represents what personal branding is. So your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, and how you leave others feeling after having an experience with you becomes your trademark. So we want to make sure that we get your personal brand right, so you always stay consistent and give an effective, consistent message to all your customers all the time. So first impressions. Some of you probably, before coming into this webinar, if you didn't know me, you probably had a look at my profile, my website, and had a look at who am I? And hopefully you're here because I gave you a really good first impression. And, that is through the images, such as the images that Fi does. And, any content that you actually put out there, within the online space. And we'll cover that as we talk through personal branding. But first impressions, unfortunately, we are all beings who judge a book by its cover. And scientifically, it has been proven that we give the first impression within a few seconds. Already people make quite a few decisions about us. Obviously, it's all depending on in the tone of voice and the way we look. You know, you obviously would already made a decision whether I'm trustworthy, whether I'm competent or not, whether I'm successful or not at what I do. Maybe my background, where I'm from, because of the way I speak and my accent. So, you know, there's different characteristics. So some based on scientific the studies that I've just mentioned, when you first see someone, the first things that you look at is maybe things like whether you go straight, obviously whether they're of some level of economic level, you know, whether they are very successful or not, and things like that, which I already mentioned. But, you know, it's incredible that with only a few seconds, we do judge someone, and we decide within only a few seconds whether we're going to be dealing with them, whether we connect with them, and it's all visually. So, you know, think about when you're meeting someone next, what kind of first impressions do you want to give them? And so, and this is all going to be what we're going to talk through about your image. So I talk about, based on these studies, it's all in the numbers. And, you know, we judge someone, especially by the way they look, you know, whether what they're wearing fits them or not, whether they look good on that person. For example, here in front of you in the camera, you're obviously seeing me, and one of the things I would mention is I have this area of my body, my décolletage is actually open, and there's a reason for it. So we call this the vital V in styling, and it's the same thing as crossing your arms if you actually have this area covered. So something to think about when you're meeting someone and you want to appear approachable, you need to have that area a bit discovered. Obviously, ladies, don't, you know, don't show too much cleavage unless you're very confident in your mind. But, you know, it's just an area that it's good to keep open if you're meeting someone for the first time. So the other part, obviously, is the way we speak, whether it's fast or we change our tone of voice. You know, it already gives a different type of perception to people. So if I'm speaking like this or I'm speaking like this, again, you get a different type of perception. Whether I'm walking fast or slowly, if I was here, you know, if I was in front of you giving you a talk. But yeah, obviously through camera is a very different scenario. But, you know, everything would change your perception about me, which is very interesting, isn't it? So in general, 93% of that first impression is nonverbal. It's your image. It's the first thing that comes to people's minds and make a judgment about you within just a few seconds. And only 7% is based on what you actually have to say at the end. So, for instance, you may ask me, so what happens if you talk to someone on the phone for the first time? So what happens there? What kind of impression are we giving when we're talking to someone on the phone? Well, in that sense, it's 70% is perceived based on your tone of voice, and then 30% of what you have to say. And then obviously comes along when you actually meet someone in person, and then the rest of what I just covered comes to play. And when it comes to giving a talk in front of people, for those that walk a little bit faster, 10 to 20% faster are seen as more important and energetic. I don't know if that's true, but, it's a way as well of showing you what some of the scientific studies actually have to say about that. So again, if you are meeting a potential client or you're going on an interview and so forth, really think about what image do you really want to portray and what message you want to give to others, because by the end of that moment, they already have made a decision whether they want to deal with you or not, whether they want to hire you or not. Believe it or not, it's that first impression really, really counts. So yeah, a bit of information there for you. Now I want to do now a quick exercise on first impressions, and this part is a lot of fun. well, I don't know, fun, but I would really love for you all to participate. So I'm going to have 2 examples, and it's all about first impressions, ladies. So I'm going to show you someone before and after, and I'm going to ask some questions, and I would like to know the first thing that comes to your head. Don't think about it too much, because again, remember, it's first impressions and it's seconds. So here we have Betty, and I'm going to ask you 3 questions about Betty, and I would love to hear what you have to say about Betty. So if I was to ask you what Betty does for a living, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you saw that image? And please write it down in the comments area. So accountant. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah. Definitely a desk job.
Yeah, or lawyer. Yeah.
Dodgy.
Very serious. Yeah, right? Dodgy bookkeeper. Awesome. I love
the poor lady. I'm sure she's lovely.
Yeah. No, and it's funny because it's just based on the way she looks, right? And she probably is extremely well at what she does. Her skill set and experience, I'm sure, is 100%. But and Teresa, admin, bored, exhausted. We love our accountant friends, by the way. Yes, we do. Of course, we do. So based on her appearance, does she appear successful to you? And what would be also some of her personality traits? That would be, the second and third question, actually. Do you think she's successful at what she does? And some of her personality traits. Quiet, not assertive, reserved. Someone says she's a school principal, maybe. Yeah, she does come across that way, doesn't she? I guess her body language is not saying too much. She's not even smiling. Yeah, very tired.
Not a lot of energy.
All right. So no, it doesn't come across like that. Maybe not much fun, although her glasses are okay. I think it's the lack of smile. Yeah. Intelligent, conservative, not too creative, reserved. Okay. Not open-minded. Very good. Yeah. You know what? All fantastic. I love your answers there, because, that's really what comes across, isn't she? Although she's wearing red, would someone quiet wear red? Yeah, maybe not. Red is a color that really is energetic, isn't it?
Maybe she comes out of her shell on Friday.
Fee, can you ask everyone to send their... Yeah. Jenny's saying, can you ask everyone to send their chat to everyone instead to the panelists? Oh.
Did everyone get that? Can people maybe just quickly send a chat and just to test that out?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have everyone.
So with the...
Fee, can you try on your end and click on everyone at the bottom of the chat box?
Hang on. Chat. I don't have anything at the bottom of my chat. Oh, yeah, I've got everyone. Yep. So there's a drop down in your chat box. There's a thing where it says everyone or just the panelists, and you want to have a tick at the top where it says everyone. So that's showing when you type your messages.
Yeah.
So can everyone maybe just...
mine says everyone too. So.
Yep. Great. Awesome. I think everyone's
okay, cool.
getting that.
Great. So I'm now going to show the second image, and I'm going to ask the same questions, and I would love to hear your thoughts. And by the way, it's the same person. Oops. Oh, no.
Oh.
There we go. Same person, ladies.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's Betty again. What do you think about Betty now? What's your first impression? Oh, my God.
Sexy.
Wow.
Confident.
What? Much better. Yeah. Confident. Yeah. you know, and she's still, again, not smiling very much, just a slight smile, but definitely funky, confident, successful, very successful. There we go. Big improvement. Yeah, definitely. Definitely not an accountant. Modern, in control, vibrant, sassy. She looks a lot younger. Yeah, definitely. Big transformation for sure. But again, it's just to, you know, maybe before she felt that, let's say she is an accountant, right? And she felt, well, all accountants are meant to look this way. I'm supposed to wear a corporate suit, and even though maybe have a small business and so forth. But that necessarily means that her personality is a suit, and she just wants to, you know, wear more color, or, you know, look a different way. And I mean, she changed her hair, she put some makeup on, which again, I don't think everybody has to wear makeup. It depends on your personality. So obviously here as an example, you know, you have a full-on complete transformation. But when it comes to wearing clothes, it's whatever makes you feel comfortable with yourself. And depending on the type of business that you do, you know, she may go to a customer as an accountant looking like that, and she still looks professional, to me anyway. So yeah, definitely a huge difference with the hair and everything.
Can I make a quick comment?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Fi.
I was just going to say that with my branding sessions, but I know just in general, I think one of the blocks us women often have is that we just do not think that kind of transformation is possible. And I know with my images, a lot of women look at them and say, oh, but I just can't look like that. But what you're showing us here is that, you know, it's possible for everyone. And I know in my business, introducing a lot more before afters for when the women come in and get their hair and makeup done here really helps, because we're all really smart and we actually know this, that, you know, hair and makeup and an outfit can do this transformation, but we still need to be shown all the time. It's amazing how, even though we're all really smart, we still just don't have that confidence that we can do that transformation, and we so can.
We need that reminder. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Fi. Yeah, for sure. It's so important, isn't it? I'm just going to show one more example. So here's Kelly. And again, I would love to get your first impression as what you think she does for a living. A mom? Yeah. Stay-at-home mom? Student or stay-at-home mom? Yeah, definitely. Does that sound awful? No. Not at all. Retail assistant or teacher, school teacher. Yeah, I thought of mom too. But yeah, you know what? Fair enough. You know, she looks like she's there's nothing wrong with what she's wearing, but that's the image that, you know, she's portraying to others, right? That she's a mom, or at least that's what we think she is, right? And here's her again. What do you think of Kelly now?
I want that dress.
A producer. You know, with the colors that she's wearing, I feel like she's something creative. Something like a graphic designer or something like that, just because of the patterns and the colors that she's wearing. Yeah. Yeah. So what I want to say with this is, don't feel that, oh my goodness, does that mean that because I'm a mommy business, I have to look like this all the time? The answer is no. I guess you need to choose when to, depending on the impression that you want to give and depending on what you're going. So for instance, Fi and I, we were talking during our consult. So Eliana, when I go to networking events, I like to put heels on and I like to put some makeup on. Yet when I'm doing my consultations and my photography, I wear my flats and I don't necessarily wear makeup. And that's absolutely fine. You know, you have to pick and choose also when to make that impression or what kind of message you want to portray, depending on what you're doing on that day. So that is something that, we would establish in a consult and make sure that you get it right every single time. And so you don't have to think about it every day of what you need to wear. But yeah, if you're meeting for the first time a potential client, you would want to make a good first impression. Catherine, we're mostly all moms. I don't take offense at all, but I don't want to look frumpy because I feel lacking energy if I do. Yeah, I love, yeah. Yeah, and ladies, yeah, so like I said, I don't want you to feel that because I put this example of this lady, that you feel like, you have to looking spectacular all the time, because we don't always have the time to do this. But again, if you have a supportive wardrobe and you know exactly what to wear every day, and that keeps you on brand every single day, it makes it really life a lot easier for you. But anyway, we'll cover that. So moving along, what is personal branding? So, personal branding for me is portraying your message authentically and about who you are very consistently and confidently every single time. So it's all about your reputation, what you're known for, what people say about you when you're not in the room. Okay, so that all covers what your personal brand is all about. So each and every single one of us has a personal brand. Maybe you haven't, worked on it or focused on it very much, but everyone is known for something. When I think of Fi is very friendly, very chatty. Her pictures are incredible quality. She's high end, and she does personal branding, and she loves working with women to make them feel and look amazing. So that's Fi for me. So each and every single one of you would be known for something, and it's all about very, very much being authentic. For me, authenticity is very important, because when you're trying to imitate someone else, you can tell when you're trying to be someone that you're not. And they also say a lot, fake it till you make it. And yes, but no. I think it's very important to be as authentic of where you are in your journey, in your business, or whatever that you're doing. That's really when people are going to connect with you. They really want to do business with you, because they somehow resonate with what you do and where you're at and everything that you represent. Yeah, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, very true, I think. So don't think that you need to appear in a certain way. So I don't know. If I look at some stylists. Okay, if I put myself as an example, there are stylists out there that are very fashionable, very high-end. They only use big brands, okay? And they even work with some celebrities and that sort of stuff, but that's them, right? Me, I feel I'm more, more authentic about, this is me. This is what you get. I don't want to pretend to be all fashionable, because for me, it's not about fashion. It's about you and what you're about, and making you feel really well with, yes, fashion is part of it, but style is about you and your personality and what makes you you. So, and again, I'm a person that doesn't wear a lot of makeup. I like to wear warm colors. And that's what I really want to be known for, that warmth about me, and that approach, that way I am approachable and working with real women. So, and that's me. So that's what for me represents personal branding. And talking about that, there's a lot of characteristics and things that really involves that personal branding. So the first thing, and I'm sure most of you, if not, unless you're a startup, you're probably working on this at the moment, and is getting very much clarity about your vision, who you work with, what you're about, why you do what you do, what you're passionate about it, what drives you. So most of us probably work that out with a business coach or on your own, and you have really good clarity about it. But then it is how all that all that you want to, all that message, how do you put it across everything? So your image, your your all your platforms and social media and everything, what makes you unique in front of everybody, when you're doing your marketing, the community that you're building, and all the following that you have. So for me is keeping that message and image consistent, and I think that's what makes a very strong personal brand that will be memorable, and that will make you succeed, in the long run. So today we're covering basically your image, okay? Because everything else obviously is something that you probably are working on, or you have worked with a business coach, okay? But I, in particular, work on the part that is your image. So with what you wear. So when it comes to thanks, Jenny. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So when it comes to your image, all right, if you were in front of a mirror right now, maybe not right now, maybe some of us have our hair up, and who knows, I mean, it's the end of the day, you're tired, and you put your pajamas already. So maybe not right now. But in general, okay, if you were to ask a friend or a family member or someone to ask and ask them, what do you think my current image says about me? What is it that you think, what are my personality traits? What do you think my business is about? Do you think I look, successful as I am, or, all those kind of things? The same thing that we did with the exercise before, you would do it with yourself. So you would write down maybe, and we did this, Fi and I, we did this exercise. So what is your current image saying about you? But the next part is the most important part, and is, what would you like it to say? So imagine your higher self. Imagine that confident, absolutely amazing person that you want to appear all the time, that inspires others, that magnetizes business and people and, your whole community. What does that person look like? Are you being that person every single day when you wake up and you put your clothes on? And, this is a hard question, because sometimes, yes, or what are we doing? Are we sometimes saying, you know what, Eliana, I don't have time. Seriously, I'm just grabbing whatever, and I don't know, this will do. But when you're doing that, what you are portraying is, well, this will do, right? This is me. I mean, I have all the knowledge, all the experience, everything, yet, I'm just putting whatever. I didn't make an effort for you, my potential client. And, that happens sometimes, and I don't want to sound like harsh or anything, but like I said, with first impressions, unfortunately, that's the world we live in. And so we just need to be mindful of those things. And, hopefully this helps you, think about it a little bit more when you're dressing up every day, depending what you have planned for the day. So anyway, just thought I'd put it out there.
Eliana.
So some of the women that
just really quickly, I know myself as a mum, I really struggle in the morning because I go to bed late, and I think a lot of us do if we're trying to get stuff done. And in the morning when you're tired, it's when you're right, you're spot on, you don't have the energy to think about clothes, or your clothes might not be ironed. I'm always one for never ironings, and I want to go to wear something and it's not ironed. So I go for something that I don't feel so great in, or I know it doesn't look that good. And again, it comes back to you and being styled and knowing ahead of time what's in your wardrobe and what looks good, so you don't have to think about it in the morning. It's a great place to get to, which I would like to get to one day.
That's right. Yeah, and I have those moments sometimes as well. Hey, where I wake up and I'm not in the best mood, but yet, okay, what am I going to wear today that is going to get me out of this mood and it's going to make me feel confident again? So, and then, put something together. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Feel good. Now I can go out and start my day. So yeah, it is hard, and unless you know the tools and how to do it, it's not easy. So fair enough. I mean, you have lack of time, you have lack of energy, but once you know you know the tools and you know how to do it, it becomes easy, I promise. Okay, so some of the women that I feel that are absolutely incredible and successful in what they do, and you know, they keep their image very consistent. I'll start with Naomi Simpson. So obviously we all know her from the Shark Tank and the red balloon. She always wears red. That's her thing, you know. She has an incredible following in social media, and she, you know, you can tell just by that image, she has authority. What did Teresa wrote? I'm not a mom, but I too at 45 at 40 I don't know, 5 a.m. exhausted and fall out of bed wearing the same uniform to work, realizing makeup and jewelry is the first place to brighten me up. Fair enough, you know, and that sometimes is hard if you have to wear a uniform, but at least if you can add yeah, like you said, some jewelry or something that will add to your personality, that really helps. Yeah, so true, Teresa. Fair enough. Okay, so next one is Taryn Bromfitt. I guess because I'm all about body image and supportive the positive image movement. I love Taryn. You know, all her social media, you know, she just this is who she is, and she just embraces her body. You know, she's not about looks or anything like that. She always wears her little red glasses, which I love. You know, that's very much her, and you know, she's very recognizable. Jenny, she's wearing your glasses. Yeah, she is. That's right, Jenny. You have your glasses. That's your thing. I love it. So yeah, that's Taryn, and I love her for it. The other one is Ali Price. I don't know if you know her. She's from Motivating Mom. You know, she's been doing her business for 10 years. And Ali always comes across very genuine. Obviously, she deals a lot with moms. You know, she doesn't wear makeup, and she's always using her Converse shoes, which I love. And, you know, that's her. But she's always the same. She keeps this consistent. Her message as well. There's a lot of red going on. Is that a thing? I don't know. But, you know, we'll talk about colors later, Jenny, and you can decide on the coloring. But, yeah, I mean, it's funny that you say that. I hadn't even realized. And, of course, the beautiful Suzanne Chadwick. I love Suzanne. Suzanne was my business coach, and for those that don't know Suzanne, you know, she's all about playing big and playing bold, and she's always wearing beautiful, bold colors, very creative and gorgeous, all kinds of colors all the time, which are really beautiful, and great patterns. And that's her, you know, that's her personality. And she always has a beautiful smile, you know, and that's always consistent. There hasn't been no time that I haven't seen Suzanne be exactly that. So anyway, some examples to give you that I find that are very, very successful at their own personal branding. Okay, so, you know, what is it that your current image is costing you otherwise? And this is something big for me. And I guess the first thing would be your confidence. You know, if you hate how you look on camera, if you hate how you look on photos, or you hate going to networking because you don't feel confident enough or in speaking to other people, you know, you're afraid of public speaking, and you're just constantly feeling afraid and have self-doubt and some fears, you know, your confidence is really costing you a lot of for your business. Otherwise, if you don't feel in the way you look in your image confident enough. The second one I would say is time. So time, we take an average of 30 minutes a day. This is what it's been said, to get dressed every morning. You know, some others maybe don't even have that time, but this is what they say. And of course, you also have to think about the time you spend on going shopping, figuring out where to shop, what you're going to shop for. And so if you multiply it per annum, you know, that's over a week of your time that you spend on doing that. So it's all about minimizing that amount of time, making it efficient, and having a supportive wardrobe, you know, that we were just speaking about in the morning. Not think about it, but yet you get it right all the time. The third one is money. So money in this case is very important. So if you think about it, let's say you have 50 pieces of clothing in your wardrobe. And I'm sure most of you have heard the whole 80-20 rule, where we use 20% of our wardrobe 80% of the time. And, you know, that may be for some of you. Some of you may use your whole wardrobe all the time. But if we put a dollar value to those 50 pieces, and you say, well, each piece average is $100, and you multiply it, that's $5,000. If you're only using 20% of it, you're only using $1,000. Yet you still have $4,000 sitting there that it's not being used. Now, I don't know about you, but I could use that for a really nice holiday. And, you know, that's only 50 pieces. Imagine if you have a lot more than that. So money is very important, and is costing you if you're not using effectively your wardrobe. And last but not least, obviously, is opportunities. You know, as I said, if you don't have the confidence, you don't have the time, and you don't have money, or you know, you're not using the right things in your image, then, you know, what are the opportunities that you're declining? So what are you not doing enough videos? Why? Because you don't like the way you look. You know, appearing in public and things like that. Getting your shots done with Fi. You're not sure because of, you know, you're overweight at the moment and you don't want to get your shots done yet. You know, it's important because that first impression on your website is so important in having those images. So yeah, it definitely holds people back. Yeah, for sure. So, you know, definitely having the right image is costing you some opportunities. So, you know, it's good to think about that. Okay. So everything that you do is a reflection of who you are, a reflection of your personal brand. So pay attention to it and ensure it's consistent, and that your message is consistent. Don't fake it. You know, just make sure that you're you. So I thought I would just end that bit for that. So how do you get a strong personal brand? And this is the interesting part, isn't it? So I already talked about, you know, getting clarity. The second thing would be analyzing your clothing and grooming, your communication, your verbal communication, your body language, and your attitude towards others. So, you know, do your clothes project an appropriate personal image? Do you speak clearly, professionally, and at an appropriate pace whenever you're speaking to someone? You know, when you're meeting someone, how are you shaking your hands? What's your body language there? You know, how do you establish eye contact? Do you tend to smile to someone when you're first meeting them? That kind of thing. So all of those things, you know, bring out your personal branding. And so for me, I concentrate in the part of clothing and grooming. And when it comes to that, how do you do that? And this is the part where I would do in a consultation is we look at your style, personality, your body shape, your color, and make sure that you have a supportive wardrobe that, you know, you can be on brand every single day. And how are we with time, Fi? Okay, we have about 13 minutes. I don't want to go too long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quarter to.
Yeah, that's cool. But, you know, for me, this is lots of fun. I have lots of fun doing this, and I love understanding what people are about, and then how are we going to create that image that you've always been wanting. So when it comes to style personality, we do an analysis of, we look at some of the images that you're drawn to. So I ask my customers to have a look at Pinterest and pin all the images that they love, or that they're attracted to, and images that really speaks to them. So, for instance, with Fi, we established that she was creative, but also very relaxed. And, she wants to also portray, very high quality and somehow a sophisticated look in a mix of things. So, and then what does that mean when you wear that? So we had to look at that. But so with each and every single one of you, we would have to look at, what kind of personality, what things are you attracted to when you're doing this exercise. And yeah, there's quite a few styles. There's even more than this, but at least I wanted to give you some examples. Sarah, you're a classic. Jenny is saying, sorry, I'm just reading from the chatterbox.
Yeah.
All right. And so the next step that we look at is your body shape. So dressing for your body shape is very important, I think, because when you obviously, I know I used to have things that I used to wear when I was 20, and I'm definitely not that body shape anymore. I'm definitely not that size anymore. So, sometimes we still have in our heads what we used to be or we would like to be, and yet, but again, I don't know what really suits me currently. So there are 5 types of body shapes. And the hourglass, the inverted triangle, the rectangle, and I call it the oval or the round. And, I don't like necessarily to call people by shapes, but what I use it for is more of a guideline. It definitely normally helps. And everybody has also different features that comes into play, and what you like and you don't like. So I find that the hardest part, working out my body shape, it's not easy. And Jenny, you know what? I used to be an hourglass, and I'm a triangle now. So it happens. They say that women go through 4 different types of body changes as you go through puberty. You have children. You go through menopause, and then obviously when we're very senior. So yeah, we tend to shrink and all that stuff. So there's along our lives, we change our body shapes at least 4 times. So there you go, something to keep in mind. But so your hourglass is someone who is balanced from their shoulders and their hips, and they have a very defined waist. So they're curvy. Your inverted triangle is someone who has a wider shoulders than their hips. Then you have the triangle such as me, which is your shoulders are not as wide as your hips. Your hips are a lot wider. Maybe some of you have heard it as pear. Then the rectangle is the same as the hourglass, so they're also balanced, but they don't have a defined waist. Someone who's very, I've seen it's not a very popular body shape. Actually, the inverted triangle is the most popular I've found. But yeah, rectangle, I've seen it in a lot of sports kind of people, and inverted triangle as well. And the oval, is when obviously our tummies are a little bit wider than our shoulders and our hips. And there are ways to know how to dress each body shape. To give you a quick example, for me, the triangle, I need to balance myself. I need to look at what's going to balance me on the top part than from the bottom. So if I want to put any focus on myself with the eye, I tend to put it up here rather than at the bottom. So if I'm wearing jeans, for example, I'm going to wear darker jeans rather than really lighter types of jeans, because otherwise the attention goes down to my hips and my thighs, and I'd want to avoid that. And prints, I tend to put them at the top. So horizontal types of oh my goodness, it's hot in here, sorry. Horizontal lines tend to help widen me up at the top and balances me with the bottom. So it's those kind of things, the little tricks that help you. But it's just knowing what your shape is. I know it's the tricky part, and to tone. And yes, I agree to a certain degree, but it's also about your persona, what you like. So I would never tell you you need to wear this and this and this color, because for me, that's not really what's it about. And I guess that's what Fi was telling you before. So when I talk about cool and warm, cool for me is someone who has a pink tone, undertone. And so if you would have a look, can everybody see me?
Hang on.
Yeah, okay, because I can't see your feet, but that's okay.
Do you know what? My computer just crashed. It was hilarious. Did everyone lose sight, or did you stay recording? Did you stay? Could everyone still see Eliana? No, all good. Oh, beautiful. That's hilarious. I just my computer just died. The battery went, and anyway, I'm back, and you're all still here, so that's awesome.
All right, awesome.
Oh, hang on, someone's lost you.
They can't see me. Okay, they can't see me.
Hang on, what's going on?
So anyway, what I was trying to say, if you put your arms and turn them around, and you see your Jenny, can you see me?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right.
Yay.
Well, anyway, with your underarm, okay, you can tell what your skin tone is based on your underarm. So, for instance, me, I'm a yellow tone, undertone. I tend to go golden when I go to the beach. And cool tones would then be more pink based. And you tend to be more of a chocolate color rather than more of a golden color when you brown up. So that's the difference between cool and warm. Now, with colors, everybody can wear all colors, okay? It depends on what undertone is there for all the colors. So, for example, if you're going to choose green and you're a cool tone, I suggest to go for greens that have more of a blue tone in it than a yellow tone. It will just stand out a lot better in you, okay? And same goes for the yellow undertone. You tend to go for greeners that more like the olive rather than maybe I will grab an example. If you can still see me, and probably I should have had these ready in front of me. So I apologize, ladies.
Colours are so important, aren't they? It makes such a difference. You can't always wear the colour you would love to wear, unfortunately, I'm finding.
No. You know, for instance, I'm currently wearing kind of a salmon color. There's a lot of blush out there, for example, and it's such a popular color. But if I put blush on me, it looks horrendous. I look washed out. Is yuck. Even though it's such a beautiful color and there's so many people that can wear it, but definitely not me. So I definitely, it depends on the color and the tone of it. So, for instance, if we have some blues here, now we have two color blues here. So you have a blue here that has more of a blue tone, and there's here another blue but has more of a yellow tone. I don't know if you can see it well. Probably, I don't know if you can see it well. My lighting is probably not the best, but you know what I'm trying to say, basically. If you're going to choose, don't worry about it. Okay, cool.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out.
Oh, no, that wasn't you. Don't worry about it. That was us talking about videos.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't you. Keep talking,
no
please.
Okay, easy. Okay, and the other thing about colors, you know how some people say you should wear your brand colors. Again, I don't necessarily agree with that. Yes, you know, some of my coloring is pink. So my colors of my branding is gold and pink. And I love a little bit of sparkle. So gold for me obviously means, you know, good quality, yeah, kind of a high standard wealth, and how it says here on the screen, wealth property, very valuable. So for me, I want to give a very good high level service to any of my customers. So for me, that what golds represent. And pink comes to women. I mainly deal with women. And I feel that pink tends to be very approachable, a very lovely, compassionate kind of color. So that's why I love pink. And that's why I chose those colors for my branding. Whether I choose to wear them or not, I wear gold mainly because that's the color that suits me, based on the fact that I'm a warm tone. Cool tones tend to look better with silver. So that's why I wear gold. I also wear rose gold and bronze colors. Again, that's better for those that are more in the warmer side. But back again, when I was talking about wearing your branding colors, it's all based on your personality. So for instance, there are days where I will go and give a talk and I feel like I need to look very authoritative. Great. Maybe the next topic.
We've already got another webinar to do. You have.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe go more deeply into this. But, you know, there's just so much when it comes to colors, right? And if I go into the next slide, maybe you could see a little bit better. So it's all about dressing to your personality and how you feel on that day. So I personally tend to want to look very reassuring, very very compassionate, very approachable. So I tend to wear colors that are more earthy colors, warm colors, and you know, that go more into the oh, how do you call them? They've gone out of my head. The girl that's in the peach and blue. No.
Oh, like pastels.
Other word.
Pastels?
Yeah, pastels. Thank you. That's the word. My English sometimes just really plays tricks on me, or maybe it's just the one word. Sorry about that.
You get away with it.
So that's it. Thanks, Fi. So I tend to go for that kind of look because that's kind of the image that I want to go for. When I had a chat to Fi, for example, she said to me, Eliana, I love wearing my neutral colors, yet I want to still appear creative and all the rest of it. So for her, we've established that, you know, her fun side, that creative side, will come from her jewelry and her fun shoes, for example, because she loves wearing those really funky flat shoes, the sneakers, and they're all so much fun. And I saw her collection. She's starting to have a really cool collection. So it's all about adding that fun part in some other way, even if it's only the pants, or even adding pattern in some way at some point, depending on, you know, what she wants to wear that day. But this is what I'm trying to get at. And another day, you might see me wearing black and white and some red lipstick. And that's because that day, I want to make sure I look very authoritative. I want to look like someone that really knows what she's talking about. I want to look very assertive. I'm a black and white person. I have no gray area. I know what I'm talking about. And, you know, the red lipstick also helps with that. And, you know, some of you may not use any makeup, don't like to wear red lipstick, and that's absolutely fine. So we find other ways to make you look that way as well. So it depends on your personality again. But these are just some examples. If you are in the corporate world, for example, which I also work full-time, by the way. I work in IT, and for instance, not long ago, I had to go to an interview, and I made sure I wore navy, a dark color navy, a dress with gold, and a black blazer. So there are darker colors, and that just suited me and my personality, who I was. I felt completely confident, and thankfully I got the job. But so you know, it's to give you an example of, again, I wanted to portray that I'm very trustworthy, and blue tends to appear that you're very trustworthy. And if you combine it with beige or camel or that kind of color, then you appear, again, not only trustworthy but very approachable, because earth tones give that impression. Okay. So yes, there is a lot to learn. There's a lot to cover, but I guess I wanted to give you a glimpse of what it's all about, dressing to your brand. Each of you would be very, very different to each other. But yeah, I hope that gives you some direction as to what kind of you need to do to get your brand right. Okay. So anyway, that's the end of the presentation. I hope you found it all very useful, very informative. Again, like I said, there's a lot of information, but I guess I didn't want to leave you without giving you an offer for those that are here tonight. So the first one is what I did with Fi, which was having especially if you're going to have a shoot with Fi, for example, and you're not clear of what image you want to portray, what you want to wear, and that kind of stuff. You know, this is really great to do. So, you know, we sit down, we have a look at your branding, and we go through everything. I make sure to help you identify what your personal style is, what's your body shape, what's your color. And then I give you tips on what you should wear on the day for each shot. So we get really, really specific. And then at the end also give you a style guide that, you know, gives you an idea, you know, summarizes everything that we covered. So you also always keep it as a reference, but also when you go shopping, what you should wear for your body shape and where to shop, for example. So that's on that offer. And what we're doing is a 10% off. So normally it's $120 and I'm offering it for $108. And then the second one is pretty much all that, but on top of that, we go shopping. Why? Because you look at your wardrobe and you go, you know what, Eliana, I'm not sure. I don't see anything I really want to wear right now, or definitely need some help with being more on brand. Whatever the situation may be that you're facing right now, we go shopping. I then go back and integrate all that, do lots of mix and match in outfits. I take photos of everything. I put a lookbook together for you, plus a style guide. I give you a color swatch, and on top of that, you get 3 months support from me on top of that. Can people pay in a couple of... Yes. So I do have installments available for sure, if required. Okay, so normally it's $5.95, and I'm offering 10% off by that. Sorry, I'm just reading a message from Teresa. She says, thank you so much. I may use you in the future, but I have truly put so much weight in the past 6 months that I have 3 wardrobes. And you know what? I hear you, Teresa. I personally go up and down in my weight very often. So I do have to keep a couple of sizes with me. So I feel you, and I know what is that like, because I struggle with my weight a lot. So anyway, when you're ready, we'd love to help you out. So anyway, but thank you so much for joining us. And if you have a big wardrobe instead, again, I can tailor this for you, ladies. I'm more than happy to take this one-on-one later if you need anything. And I can give you, obviously, some discount because you were here today and attending the webinar. So anyway, what I'll do, I'll pass it on back to Fi. She also has a beautiful, a great offer.
Well, actually, I think something's happened with my video. I don't know if you have to change me back to host, but I'm not too fussed about going back. I can basically talk, because I want people to be able to, as long as people can still hear me, because I'd love you to get as much Q&As in as possible if people want to ask some questions. Basically, I'm doing the same offer as Eliana. So 10% off my branding sessions, and basically we'll follow up the webinar with an email to you all that have registered, and we'll outline Eliana's offer, and I can point you to the link on my page with my branding sessions so you can see my pricing as well. And I also, love to chat to people to find out what they would like to do. But I'm sure people have got some Q&A for Eliana, so I'll let her keep going with that. And thank you so much, everyone, just in case people do start leaving. Thank you so much for coming and listening to Eliana. She has got so much to offer, hasn't she? And I think we've definitely got lots more that we could bring you back for, Eliana, on another day, because I think people just love learning about, obviously how to create a personal brand is great, but knowing how to do that and what we all need personally, I think, is what we really would love to also know. So to follow up, we'll definitely get you back on for another webinar.
Yeah, sounds good. I would love to. And thank you. Everybody's giving beautiful feedback. So I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. The offers for the next 2 weeks for any booking. So basically, I know Julie said, who is it? Sorry, I missed. I can't, wait. Oh, Natalie, for example, was saying that she'll be able to do it in a month or two. No problems at all. So if you just, we put a booking in for the next the month or the following month, that's fine, as long as we lock it in within the next 2 weeks, that the offer is still in, okay? What else?
Did anyone have any questions? I've got a question to kick it off.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, okay, sure, go for it. Yeah, definitely.
So when people come in for, I'm going to talk about headshots, because when people come in for headshots, we usually only do 2 or 3 outfits, and I'm not a stylist, so I try to give people a guide on wardrobe. It wouldn't be anything near what you could do, but I do say to them to bring in some options, but always bring in one colour that's going to create a good impact, like first impression, like you've been talking about. And I do say to people, it's always a good idea to maybe have a not plain, but a black dress, a black dress, which is maybe not such as good an easy impact, but to use just a black dress with a bit of whether it's a statement necklace or something simple, because it sort of appeals to different looks and feels. But there's also, it's also sometimes said that you shouldn't wear black, or you shouldn't, I know I've always been told I shouldn't wear white. So are there rules around black and white, or does it change from person to person, or is it dependent on what you want to portray in your image?
Yeah. So, for instance, Fi, if I look at your shots and your studio, everything is white, right? So if you wear white, you're not really going to stand out. You're gonna be almost part of the picture, if you know what I mean. Yep. So in that instance, I wouldn't recommend wearing white unless you have another type of background. Okay. Again, with white, not everybody looks great on white. Okay. If you are a cool kind of person with a cool undertone, yes, white normally looks really well on them. But if you're more of a warm person, I would say white is not the best. Okay. So in that case, I would say use more of an off-white or ivory or that kind of color, and that you will look a lot better. But again, it all depends on the background. Okay. And yeah.
I've also wondered, is that something you can, if you warm up I suppose you can't really warm up your makeup, can you? By, putting a little bit more colour in your skin, so that if you do have a white blouse on, it doesn't have such a draining effect?
Yeah, and also the jewelry, because it's whatever is more closest to your face. So if you have a white top, but then you have a very colorful, jewelry, of course, your makeup, that will help. Definitely. I'm not saying So no, this is just a guideline. I don't think there's really any rules in particular when it comes to styling, any wrong or right answer. These are just suggestions that I think will really allow you to look a lot better. But yeah, definitely by having makeup and the jewelry will help, you know, not wash you out if you're wearing white. Okay. And with the black, you know, same thing. A black can tend to be a very strong color. Depends on your industry, you know. But you know, if black is your thing, black is part of your brand, you want to look very sophisticated and so forth, black tends to, you know, help in that sense. You know, I have some shots wearing black in my shots just because I love black and I feel comfortable in it. I feel very confident wearing black, but I did soften it up with other colors. I wasn't all black, but you know, that was just my preference, and again, that's in my opinion. Yeah, but like you said, you know, sometimes they may mix it with other things as just jewelry, and that's absolutely fine.
Simone Russell, I'm checking out Eliana's Instagram and love the pinky background on one of your photos. Fi, do you have different coloured backgrounds to use? I'm thinking of a new Photoshop. Oh, I can't believe you've asked that, Simone, because literally a week ago I had a backdrop stand delivered and I now have pink, blue, grey, and I've got a black backdrop coming and a beautiful fawn colour as well. So that was my addition to the studio that I wanted to introduce this year so I could widen my offer to people. So yes, the answer is yes, I do, which is really exciting. Wonderful. Thanks for asking, Simone.
Yay. Oh, that's so exciting for her. That's great. Awesome.
Yes, very exciting. Simone's got a baby coming.
Oh, how cool. That's awesome. Well, congratulations, Simone. That's great.
Does anyone else have questions?
Natalie says, I have olive skin and I have been told I look green when I wear black, but I love black.
Black is
yes.
Melbourne.
Sorry?
Black is also very Melbourne, isn't it? We can't escape it.
It is. Yeah, you know, sometimes I go to the shops and I want to add some color to a customer's wardrobe. And it's hard. I think it depends on the season as well. So I was very happy when spring and summer came along and I started seeing again a lot of colors. Yeah. But again, it depends on what you're comfortable with and what you love. I have my days where I love just wearing black and that's my thing, but I rarely just go full on black. But that's me, you know. So yeah, depends on the personality. Yeah.
There's a question.
Wonderful.
Any
other questions? Here, Eliana, where do you do your shopping with clients? Does it depend on what stores they like and what area they live in? What kind of budget do you suggest? Okay, good question, Simone. So I tend to go to Chatston or to the city, to Melbourne Central and the Emporium, just because of the variety that I have there within this one place. You know, there's always boutiques and lovely places to go, but you know, if we want to make sure we make the most out of our time, because obviously I get paid by the hour, so I want to make sure we get everything done, you know, as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. So I tend to do those two places because I know them well, and I can go, okay, now we go here, now we can go here, now we go here. So, and in terms of budget, depends. So do you want to add some items to your wardrobe, or are we starting from a whole wardrobe completely? So, you know, that is something we would have to have a chat and figure it out, because you may have already some really awesome key items in your wardrobe, and all we have to do is just go and buy some gaps that you're needing for your wardrobe. So yeah, we would have to have a look, and then I can let you know how much, but it's by the hour. It tends to be 110 per hour, but I have some packages in place that, you know, becomes a more affordable.
Eliana, just quickly interjecting again, you did you mention that you have a Facebook group? Because I can't remember if it was in your Facebook group or just on your main page, but you sent out a great link in January which listed about 20 or 30 great places to shop in January because they had sales on. Was it online shopping? Online shopping, maybe. You sent out a great list to people saying if you want some great online shopping places, go and look at these. So just if people want to jump into your, if they want to join your Facebook page and your group, you're always putting great tips up there and also little styling. Well, have we?
Yeah, so my group is called Style of Melbourne. So if you search for a group, it's called Style of, And if you want to follow me for styling tips and everything, so that's my Instagram and my Facebook page as well. So here are all my details. We'll definitely, we will email you tomorrow the video and all the offers and everything that we both have in place. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to have a chat to see where you're at and where I can help you with.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks again, everyone. We'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your night, what's left of it. Really appreciate you supporting us and listening in tonight because I know it is late. And hopefully we will see you for another one in a month or two's time. Stay tuned.
Yay. Oh, thank you so much, ladies. Very grateful for you all to joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.